Katie was at one of those outdoor concerts with some kids. So some family, like cousins and other things. So the kids were getting a little bored because the concert was actually a little bit away, so they weren't right next to everything, and it was just easy for them to get distracted. So as a way to engage them a little bit more in what was happening, she had them on her back. So she's, their arms are up here, legs are wrapped around her waist, and she's just having a good time, bopping around, enjoying life. And from her perspective, she realizes looking back, it was a long time that she was bouncing around with kids. But at the time, it didn't feel like it was that long. She didn't really notice anything dramatic while she was doing anything. So she didn't think anything of just standing there with this kid on her back. Until the next day, which was Sunday. And so Sunday she woke up and she could not move. Her back was so tight and so stiff. It was just grabbing her every time she took a deep breath. It was just a lot of pain. So she milled around her house all day. She really tried not to move too much. And so Monday, when she was talking to me, she was still having quite a bit of pain. And she wanted to know how to get rid of that, obviously, as quickly as possible. She also wasn't sure if she needed to go to the doctor. So she had a whole lot of questions. So she didn't have any signs that said that she had done any damage to herself. So we just made an appointment for her to come in. I was able to get her in pretty quickly. When I got to look at her back, she just had a massive muscle spasm. And after she was able to fully show me what it was that she was doing with the kids, it was very obvious that while she had, just the way that she was demonstrating things, that while she had the kids on her back, her lower back muscles were holding up not only her body, but also the added weight of those kids. So just that extra stress caused her low back to become very, very tired, and then it hit a muscle spasm. It just created a huge muscle spasm, and her lower back was just locked in, and it was not giving up easily. So we were able to calm all that down, thankfully, with some manual, so I was able to do massage and some hands-on techniques to help calm that down and break that cycle of just spazzing every time she moved. Every time she took a deep breath, she would just get this horrible sharp pain. I talked about things that she can do at home, such as I showed her some gentle stretches that she can do. I told her to ice. She was like, "Are you sure? I feel like I'm supposed to heat." And she's like, "That's what I did." And it gave me a little bit of relief. And heat does help sometimes with muscle spasms. So by all means, you could certainly try. But in the case that she's describing, it's this muscle was overused. So it's just like any workout. If you get back from running really far and your legs hurt, I'm not going to have you put heat on there, because you're just going to bring more blood flow to the area. There's plenty of blood flow there. We just need it to calm down. We need that tissue to calm down, and that's really where ice does the best work. So icing for about 5-10 minutes, whatever you can handle. Oftentimes, especially if that area is already inflamed, the ice actually feels pretty good. But she was able to do that, able to ice, and it really did calm things down. So she was able to move a little bit more freely, especially after she did some of the stretches that we talked about. And now, as she's been coming back, one might say, well, why does she need therapy if the pain went away? That is 100% true. But she should have, minus the fact that the kids were a little bit heavy, she should have been able to tolerate the motion that she was doing without having the severity of the reaction. And so after watching how she moved, I discovered some other things that were going on that led to that injury. And so that's what we're working on. We're working on her hip strength and some overall core stability so that she doesn't have this happen in the future. Nothing worse than waking up and not feeling like you can take a deep breath without sharp shooting pain. This is a very scary moment in everybody's life, but anybody who's had it at least. So I hope that Katie's story helps calm some anxiety. So if you are suffering from this right now, there's help. You don't necessarily have to go to a primary care office or orthopedics office. You can come and get therapy physical therapy and feel better when you leave the office, because we'll be able to look at exactly what's going on with your tissue, calm the tissue down, and help that healing process start the day you come.